What up, homies? Welcome back to DIY with Fiona. So I'm the type of person who in general doesn't like waste. I like to try to reuse things as much as possible, like keep my closet pretty minimal, so I'll wear everything I own. So this week's video kind of speaks to who I am. Number one, I like free things. And number two, I don't like waste. So what are we doing this week? We are going to decorate our home for free. I won't be buying any supplies that we'll be using today for any of our DIYs, but if you are a DIYer, you'll have these really typical supplies in your repertoire already. And if you don't have some of the supplies I mentioned today, I'll link all the supplies I use in the description below. Please like if you guys enjoy this video, and comment below on if you guys have some things lying around in your home that you think you can turn into a cool DIY. And please subscribe and turn on the notification button to know exactly when I post my videos. Alright, here are the DIYs. This first project is perfect for all those glass jars you have lying around at home. The supplies are super simple. You'll just need any size glass jar, some non-stretchy string, like a thin macrame cord would be perfect, and also a tea light. Measure out the perimeter of the jar with the string and cut the string a few inches longer than the perimeter of the jar. Then we'll want to measure out pieces of cord that will be hanging from that first string. We're folding these hanging cords in half, so make sure it's double the height of the jar, and we'll also add a few inches extra so we can have some extra string to work with. And then we'll be looping the folded cord through the first cord to create a fringe kind of effect. Push your cords together as you go, so there aren't any gaps between the looped cords. This means you may need to cut some extra cord to fill the entire perimeter of the jar. I definitely had to cut a few more extra pieces to do so. When you're done with that, wrap your cord around the top of your jar like a hula skirt and tie a knot. So the first knot we'll be creating is a square knot. I'll insert a picture of how that knot works. You'll be doing this along the hanging cords and creating a row of these square knots. You'll just be repeating these steps, tying one square knot after another along the jar. When you finish this first row, then you'll be doing another row using the same knot. But instead of grabbing the same 4 strands to create this knot, you'll be grabbing 2 strands from one group and 2 strands from another group, and then tie square knots with those 4 new strands. This will create a zigzag pattern with the square knots in your macrame. Go ahead and do another row of these knots. When you've completed that row, grab another piece of cord just a little longer than the length of the perimeter of the jar. Just like the first strand of cord we cut, and then tie it around the jar just under the second row of square knots we created. Next, we'll be creating a clove hitch knot. I'll insert another picture of the knot here too, but make sure your vertical piece of string starts under the horizontal string because we want the knot to be facing the jar, and the side we see should just look like loops. Again, repeat this step until you get a row of clove hitch knots around the entire jar. Trim off any excess string on the bottom, just cut it to the bottom of the jar. Pop in your tea light and you've got yourself an adorable macrame candle jar. You can make more of these different size jars and create different patterns with them, and look how gorgeous they are grouped together. Makes for a beautiful place setting in your home. This is an incredibly easy wall art using an old shirt and some embroidery hoops I have lying around at home. I love this shirt I got from Urban Outfitters years ago when I was in university, and I've worn it through all my 20s, but it's finally to start a bit of wear and tear. The fabric in one of my elbows has torn, and the edge of the shirt is quite worn out too, and the color has definitely faded over time. So even though I don't wear the shirt anymore, I couldn't get rid of it. I just love the detailing of the shirt and the beautiful lace. But when I came up with this idea of framing it in the embroidery hoop, it was the perfect way to commemorate the shirt and show off the beautiful lace on the shirt. So separate your inner and outer hoops and place the outer hoops on your shirt and figure out exactly what detail on the shirt you want to feature. For this shirt, I really love the symmetry of the fabric meeting the lace and having the other hoop feature just the lace. When you find the position you like, grab your inner hoops and place the fabric and outer hoop over it and sandwich the fabric in place. Make sure it fits and do the same thing to the other hoop as well. Make sure the fabric is taut so there aren't any wrinkles in the fabric. So here are the two embroidery hoops in place. So then next we'll be cutting out the fabric. It can just be roughly cut at first, and then you can go over it again and cut closer to the edge of the hoop. Make sure the fabric stays tight as you cut along the edge so it doesn't create a crease or bend in the fabric. Do the same thing to the other hoop and you have an incredibly easy wall art that commemorates a sentimental piece of clothing you cherish. Hang it up and you're done with this DIY. So I've been obsessed with vase flips recently, so I had to try out this textured vase flip. I've had this vase at home for a long time now, so it was perfect for this project. You'll also need black spray paint and some dry dirt as well. Take your vase outside and spray a layer of black spray paint. Remember to spray further away and with a fine mist to avoid any dripping. I did one even coat of black spray paint around the entire vase. Make sure the entire vase is evenly covered. You'll be able to tell which spots you've missed by having light come through really easily. When it's all sprayed and done, there won't be any light coming through the vase. Next, you'll get your dirt and rub it onto your vase. If it's not staying on your vase, give it another spray so the dirt will stay better. The technique I kind of used was kind of like tossing the dirt onto the vase and then rubbing it down, and then just keep doing that by tossing and then rubbing to have it stay onto the vase. Keep rotating your vase and repeating these steps. When you're done with the dirt, do another layer of spray paint over that so you can capture the texture on it but still have it be black. You can keep repeating these steps and adding more dirt until you get the texture you want. The layered dirt on the vase will create a really interesting matte black vase with a lot of textural detail. This last project is incredibly easy. If you've ever ordered countertops for your kitchen before, you know you'll get these small samples to see the pattern of the countertops. These quartz samples are the perfect size for coasters. You'll also need spray paint. Some painter's tape is perfect, but if you don't have that like me, packaging tape will work in a pinch, and also a piece of felt or thick fabric. First, start off by taping off your coaster. You can go wild and create cool shapes with it, but I just wanted to go with a diagonal tape to create triangles.
You'll want to make sure one side of the coaster is completely covered, so after you create your diagonal with the tape, cut it off and then add an extra piece of tape to the corners of the coaster so that is covered as well. Then take your coaster outside and spray the uncovered side in gold. Make sure to get the sides of the coaster too, since that will be visible. Make sure there is an even coat of spray paint on it and give it a second coat if it's needed. Then pull off the tape to reveal a clean, crisp line. This part is always so satisfying. I just love it when you see a clean, crisp edge. After this, you want to grab a piece of felt and cut it just under the size of the coaster. It should be 1/8 inch less than the edge of the coaster on all sides. Get some hot glue and get an even layer of glue onto the bottom of the coaster, and then you can stick your felt to the underside of the coaster. Flip it over, grab your drink, and you're done.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope this inspires you to reduce, reuse, recycle, and just find things you have lying around in your home and just give it new life. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, it really helps my tiny little channel, and comment below if you guys make any of these projects. I definitely want to hear back from you guys, and subscribe to stay notified on when my next video comes out. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye!